Hey, thanks so much for being here. Welcome back. This video is going to be about how to choose a planner system for 2025. I know that we are way ahead of schedule, I guess, on this topic, but if you are like me, I am pretty sure that with the Hobonichi planners launch in August, it's just a trigger to start thinking about which ones you might want to order and how do you want to update your system for the following year. So if you're interested on the topic, I hope you stick around. So you know that I pull this notebook every time I have a brainstorming session that I have to kind of lay on paper and make it a visual sort of map to follow. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you along my process. This is going to be a 3-step process that I usually follow myself for when I am trying to come up with a new system, or maybe updating the one that I already have, or I just need to perhaps I'm kind of losing my way and what a planner system means for me, and I need to step back and to rethink about how I can make it more functional um, and tailored to whatever it is that I need. So, like I said, it's going to be a 3-step process, and I'm going to take you along, and we are just going to go ahead and jump right in. All the tips that we are going to be discussing on this video are based on my own experience. You are definitely welcome to update those and update the steps to whatever makes sense to you and your style. But like I said, they are going to be based on my style and what I do that makes kind of sense to me to write to kind of clarify whatever it is that I'm needing to clarify at that moment. In this case, I'm trying to get starting into the brainstorming portion of whether or not I want to update my system for 2025, if I want to switch planners completely, or if I want to continue using what I have and just kind of update them a little bit so they can feel fresh for the new year. The very first thing that I do is really think about what it is that I have already tried and what have worked, how I feel about it, which planners I've tried, and just kind of go through my own notes and my own I guess memory lane in remembering which ones I enjoy the most and stuff like that. So the first thing that I do is ask myself, what have I tried? And this is assuming and kind of skipping ahead, if assuming that you already know your planning style. So if you don't know your planning style, that will be just thinking about what kind of paper do you like, what kind of layouts do you like, what kind of size of planner do you like? Do you like fountain pens, or do you like any other media to write on your planners, and do you need a special paper for that? All those other actual back end questions. This is assuming that you already know all of that stuff. So, assuming that you know that, you can skip to this, and it's what I have tried. And this is where I think about what planners I have ordered for the previous year. So, in this case, 2024, which ones I tried and which ones as of today I'm still using, and if not, then what happened. So, in my case, I like to think about this throughout the year, throughout the first half of the year anyways, and I do this and again in this notebook, and I just kind of create visuals for me to think about what it is that I'm planning for, and what it is that I'm feeling about what I'm using and stuff like that. The first thing that I shared with you when we first started the year was my brainstorming about the planners that I already had in my stash. So things that I already knew I wanted to give a try and assign a purpose, and I went through all of them and I assigned them a purpose, and that was my plan at the beginning of the year. Then I went in and started switching things around, because once you start using the things, then you discover other things. So in my case, I don't know if you remember, but I started the year in the Wonderland 222 A5, and I love that planner. It has everything that you can think of, but it is a chunky, big planner. So as your everyday planner, it can be challenging to carry around and to fit in your space if you have a small space like me and stuff like that. So I did had to switch that one to I first attempted to cut it down and turn it into inserts, which is what I did. And then I switched things around and try to use other notebooks that I already had to separate things. So this is my attempt at rethinking about how I wanted to use what I already have in place. And the next thing that I was thinking about was the how to make sure that I was being intentional with what I had. Um, and this is just really thinking the planner that I set up a special function for is it working? Am I using it for it? Does it feel like it is actually helping me for the purpose that I gave it that I gave to the planner or the notebook? And so this is my brainstorming sort of session, and usually what I try to do is just kind of go through what it is that I want to accomplish and then assign a place for that to happen. Here is just a reflection on how it's working and how I'm feeling about it. If it's working, I just move on. If it's not working, then I can think about ways that I can improve and things that I need to think of whether or not I want to change or switch around or leave behind. This is another attempt at thinking how to minimize what I was using. So as you remember, from this very first spread, I have plenty of planners and notebooks online lined up for the year with a purpose. And at some point, it just becomes overwhelming if you're trying to keep up with all of them at the same time. So I always find myself in a point during the year where I want to minimize and just kind of make it more simple. So this is me brainstorming about that. Again, here another review on what is working, how I'm feeling about the notebooks. There's a few things that were happening at this time. We went to Tokyo beginning of the year, so I did bring with me new planners, and I wanted to ensure that all of them had a clear purpose, and how I was feeling about it was very important. And I just used the SAR system to think about that. Here is the same thing, just kind of honing in into how I was going to use all those new planners in combination with what I already had in place. So this is my visual map of that. That's something else. And then we get to where we are right now, where we are rethinking about, or not rethinking, but kind of summarizing or reflecting perhaps into about what have worked so far and how we want to move on to in the new year. So what I have tried, to me, this is going to be a very long list because I did try a few planners this year and it was intentional. I wanted to ensure that I was giving a purpose to the notebooks and planners that I already have in my stash. And I knew that when we went to Japan, I was going to bring some planners as well. So this is the space for me to kind of think about all of that and how it went. So I'm just going to take my time after the video and just answer all those questions, but I did want to share with you the prompts. And these 3 questions are like the summary of a bigger worksheet that I will link below. And you're welcome to print that out or use it digitally to answer more questions and perhaps just kind of find more clarity if that's something that you think might help you into moving ahead with a clear plan for your planning systems. So after I ask myself, what is it that I have tried? I want to ask myself what I learned from this experience, what I learned after trying new planners and including giving them a purpose and switching things around. How do I feel about it? Which ones I enjoy the most? And why do I think that it needs change, if any? So again, the second step will be what I've learned. So again, you take your time to think about what it is that you learned through your process. If you have tried just one planner and you're just trying to see if that one planner will be the same that you want to have keep in your system for the next year, this could be a same question. You don't have to have the same ups and downs as I have. It could be that you are in this one planner that you're feeling stagnant or that you feel like it's missing something. So all of these questions can still help you clarify what it is that's missing. If there's anything missing, maybe you discover that in perhaps the system is working just fine, and it's just the hype of new planners coming out that it's giving you that itch, that you might need to change, but maybe you don't need to change at all. Maybe what you have, it's what's working. It's what's you might want to keep going for the next year. So after I have asked myself, what is it that I tried, what I learned through the process, then the third step is to ask myself what it is that I want for the 2025. What is it that I tried and learned, what was missing through that process, and what I want to see in my system for the new year ahead. So basically this question, it will be, what is it that I want? So this is a very open question. So it could include anything that you can think of in terms of your planning system. It could be which planner you want to use, what kind of paper do you want to have this time around, what stationery and other items do you want to include or remove from your system. All those questions all those answers, or those portions or aspects of your planning system can go under this. And again, this is a very summarized step-by-step sort of process. And I divided it into 3 sections, so it's not too overwhelming. This could be the very first step of your choosing your planners for 2025. But since we still have plenty of the 2024 year ahead, you can still give your time to go back to these prompts and questions and perhaps answer them again and see if your answers are any different from now. So for example, you can come back here on October or November and do the same sort of process and see if you have changed anything, if there's any feelings that are new, or any new styles or any new needs, I guess, for your system that we're not here at this time. And you can just compare and balance that and decide whether or not that is something that you want to take into consideration when you're choosing your system for 2025. So again, the extension of these prompts and guidance or worksheets is going to be included on the description below. You can access it for free. It's going to be linked under my Patreon page, but it's going to be free for anybody that would like to access that. If you do want to see the extension or extended version of this video, it will be for my members on Patreon, where I am actually going to go through these questions myself and answer them in detail and just chat a little bit more about my own experience and what I'm thinking for 2025 already. So if you're interested in that, I invite you to join in over there. If not, then you're more than welcome to just grab the free printable and just check out those prompts, and hopefully I'm hoping that this can give you some assistance, I guess, or some guidance and help into deciding and clarifying your setups or your goals for 2025 in terms of your planning systems. So I hope that, again, this video has been helpful. If you decided to join in for the extended version, I'll see you there. If not, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.